Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to podcast Room 303. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us, oh wait, not this time, huh? Episode 164, we're going to get into the NFL Week 16 review. We'll get into the NFL Week 17 betting slate, and we'll get into the head-to-head for this week. I think we just had a podcast first. My pops just finished his ebook, just converted it into an ebook. So that's never happened on the podcast before. How you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm good. To you, to your pops, to all the listeners, I say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I had a very depressing thing happen the other day. The betting app that I used, or the app that I used to track my bets, gave me sort of a Spotify Wrapped on my bets for the year. That was not something I wanted to see.
How dare they? That's
especially
rude.
when it lists your biggest wins, and 3 of those 5 wins are losses.
Your biggest wins were losses, bro.
That wasn't very nice of the app to be like, hey, these are the leagues you did really well in. These are your top 5 leagues, and only 2 of them are positive. So,
what was did they give you like a unit measurement for the? Were you like plus?
I don't think so. I didn't see one.
All right, so that's got real dark on Christmas. And how do you spell rivalries?
I don't know, man. I was talking in all capital letters.
Why doesn't it, spell check all caps? Does it just like it doesn't apply anymore?
There's no rules.
Did you get anything for Christmas?
Okay. So, like, what are we considering? Like, did somebody else give me something that I didn't get with my own money?
Yes. Did you receive a gift, Nicholas? That's usually what that question constitutes.
I got no gifts. No. We're really kicking the show. We're really kicking the show off great. My betting app told me I suck at betting, and I got no gifts for Christmas.
That's all right. I got a candle, a book, a Nintendo Switch game that was it used to be on the GameCube, so now I have it on the Switch, and some chocolate.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I got what I wanted for Christmas because I got myself stuff that I wanted for Christmas. So I got like brand new. I basically like scrapped my shoe closet and bought a new shoe closet. Basically, like bought all new shoes, like dress shoes and like going out shoes. I maybe not going out shoes, but the inventory of my shoes. I have very nice dress shoes because, as you know, I like to wear a suit. I like to wear suits, right? Mm-hmm. My dress shoe game is very good. I'm just now getting into the dress loafer game. So I got a couple of pairs of dress loafers, but I'm talking a chasm between my dress shoes and my athletic shoes, of which I have plenty of both. But the middle of like, hey, I'm wearing jeans and like a shirt and I need to go outside. It's what do I pick from? Do I wear running shoes or do I go with my brogues?
Dude, just get yourself one pair of Vans, black or white, that matches everything, and then call it a day. They're usually about $50. They don't break the bank.
I do have that's a joke that I just made. I do have one singular pair of white Vans.
Box checked.
Off-white. They're not really white anymore. They were white when I got them.
Once upon a time. Upon purchase, they were white. But as most kids growing up, they've adopted black culture and now wear their hats backwards.
Friggin' white kids. I also got myself panoramic pictures of every single sporting event that's happened in my life. So I have
every sporting event that's happened in your life?
A positive one. It's not a lot. So I have one already. I would grab it, but it's far away, and it is the at the time the high water mark of the Carolina Panthers I received as a Christmas gift way back, and it's 2003. It's the Super Bowl 2003, right before Adam Vinatieri is about to kick the field goal. The score is 29-29. The Patriots have not won yet. And I've always wanted different scenes, so I got obviously the Avs winning in 2000, 2001, the Avs winning in 2021 or 2022, I guess. The Avs winning in 2022. Just like a random Rockies game in the middle of summer. NC State football, and I think there was one more. Maybe not.
It's a dark sports world for you. Anything Germany? Anything Bayern?
No, they don't make like panos of that.
Oh,
at least I didn't find one.
So, and that's going all on the wall that's currently behind you.
That'll probably go on the wall, and then I was walking through. So this area that I moved to has a really cool. So they realized that they don't want to build a bunch of shops and a bunch of restaurants because it would take away from the like natural scenery of the area. Mm-hmm. So they figured, well, we're digging down anyway. So they've actually now dug underground like just a bunch of shops. So it's like a bunch of like. So like underneath the like main road, there's like just a bunch of like underground shops, and it's not like you think like you're thinking
you're thinking
like Skyrim right now. Yeah, you're thinking like Skyrim right now, or like the vaults from Fallout. No, it's pretty nice. So there was like a frame shop in there, so I'm gonna get a couple of things. I think I'm gonna get the Avs. Nevada sent me the Denver Post after the Avs won, so I'll probably get that framed too.
Yeah, you got to hang on to the victories you do have.
Because they are so few. We tell us not judge us by our defeats, but judge us by our victories because they are so few.
Did you watch any of the NBA slate yesterday?
Yeah, it's all of it. I can't get enough of it.
It was a good slate, actually. A lot of really good basketball.
I realized that this morning when I was making the NBA model, I realized that there were a lot of good games yesterday, and I was kind of like, oh, I should have watched these, but then that moment was fleeting. What? All right, as we move, because this episode will cover the New Year too. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
Do I believe in New Year's resolutions? I don't try to buy into that hoopla. Like, if you want to change, you should do it at any point in time. But I'll humor you. I want to text group chats less and check in on friends more.
Okay. That's very good, actually. That's a very good resolution. So you said instead of just texting the group chat and then patting yourself on the back because you kept in contact with 8 people, instead send 8 text messages and actually
Well, I have this thing, right, where I'm like fascinated by all these happenings and goings in the sports world, and music and movies and video games, and I share all
chat for every one of those.
For every single one, and it's pretty much me talking to me. So I don't understand why I'm even responding in the group chats.
Right.
So I'm pretty much just like, I'll keep like, the El Paso buddies group chat, and then I'll keep like one other group chat, but I'm probably going to leave a bunch of them and not respond.
Does Room 303 make the cut?
So Room 303 makes the cut. The Hooligans 2.0 makes the cut. And then that's pretty much it, if I'm being honest.
See, what's the point? You and I are fundamentally different when it comes to group chats. You are a consistent, probably 1 to 2 texts a day guy. I will have one day out of the week where I will just throw articles and memes and be an active participant.
Yeah. And that's what I was like. I was just like, yo, I don't need a bunch of passengers. If I want a conversation, if nobody's going to engage, what's the point?
Right.
Like, I might as well go join forums. I'll go on Reddit and waste my time on there instead of talking to my own friends.
It also is more personal to text somebody and be like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah, well, that's not Yeah, but that's not because of the group chats. The group chats, I want to talk about that topic. Saying what's up to somebody is more like, because the suicide rates always go up during wintertime, and there's been a lot of people that have passed away that I have known in just the last year. So it's been it's just sad to see. So it's like, let me at least check in on the people and make sure, hey, they're actually good, instead of only talking about basketball or only talking about the new video game that's coming out. So
yeah, I guess I'm doing good. You haven't checked in on me yet, so.
Well, that's because you always come to me with your boohoos.
Well, I guess that helps me from not killing myself, then, Jermaine. I guess I'll. You know what? You're right. I'll just go unalive myself now instead of talking about my problems.
Here we go. The millennial in you's coming out. All right. So, as we alluded to at the opening of this podcast, we'll get into the Week 16 betting slate, which is not finished at the time of recording. This is Monday, the 26th of December. The Chargers are currently in an absolute battle with the Colts for some reason. And then we'll get into the Week 17 betting slate. So we'll probably be 2 games shy of what we actually want to pick. Then we'll get into the head-to-head. And that's where we'll start today's episode. So last week's head-to-head, we submitted a pick for Eric. Eric had Dallas money line. We thought it'd be funny for him to bet against his own Philadelphia team. What a backstabber, man. How dare he bet against his own Philadelphia Eagles? Well, he got the dub. He now sits at 9-6. And right. You took Seattle plus 9.5, which wasn't close, was it?
It was close, yeah. It was
close. How much did they lose by?
14.
It's not close. That's almost 5 points. That brings you to 7-1. So in order for you to win the head-to-head this year, I've officially been eliminated. We'll get into mine right now. You need to win out, and Eric needs to lose out.
I believe. And since Eric's not on this podcast, I have a lot of hope that I'm going to get a win this week.
Look, if you win this week and he loses, it's anyone's ball game, Week 18, and you know how Eric is under pressure.
I already got him in our fantasy football league. Shout out the 2007 New York Giants, aka my fantasy football team. Didn't beat a winning team this year until the playoffs.
There you go. And now you're in the championship. And then, so I've been eliminated. I'm sitting at 6-9 for the head-to-head. For some reason, I can pick wonderfully on a slate of games, but I cannot pick one winner to save my life. But I had Houston money line this week before we even found out about Ryan Tannehill being out. I locked it in at plus 205. Walked away with a dub, bringing my season total to 6-9. I'm trying to become the New Orleans Saints and finish 8-9, and hopefully, everyone else loses out and it looks respectable at the end of the year. But that's where the current head-to-head is sitting. Let's get into the weekly picks, shall we, Nick?
Let's do it.
All right. That was an eager response. We'll start with Nick, who went a whopping 12-5-1 this week. One bet pending. Sorry, that should be 12-6-1. 12-6-1. And one bet pending with Chargers -4, which is currently sitting 19-3. I think it's safe to lock that in. But the NFL is crazy, so we won't say anything.
Oh,
Nick had... Yeah, it's 19-3 right now. I just checked.
Who scored? Austin Eckler again.
Awesome, excellent.
Throw the ball.
Justin Herbert's playing absolutely awful right now. Let's see. You had Buffalo money line, Kansas City, Seattle under, Kansas City money line, Giants plus 3.5, New Orleans plus 2.5, New Orleans money line, Baltimore money line, San Francisco -7, Dallas money line, Green Bay +4, Green Bay money line, Arizona plus 6.5. I had Jacksonville money line, so I was 6-1. Jacksonville money line, Seattle under, Kansas City money line, Giants plus 3.5, Houston +5 in Houston money line, and Knicks Nuggets was a whopping 8-3-1 this week.
Yeah,
absolutely smoking the both of us, bringing this year's totals to Let's see. I'm 54-54-2. You're 58-53, and you've been awarded your first push. And then Dick's Nuggets also got its first push, so it's 37-30-1. So let's go ahead and get into the Week 16 review. Jacksonville beat the New York Jets 19-3, and Zach Wilson is done in New York. Did you see that?
Is he? They said he's done.
Yeah, so they're probably just going to release him in the off season.
How much money? What's his cap hit right now? Or they just don't care.
I don't think they. I mean, I would rather take the cap hit than still have him on my team. Let's see. Zach Wilson's best friend is the first thing that popped up. Zach Wilson contract.
The crazy thing is the Jets aren't eliminated yet either.
Yeah, Mike White is back. They officially announced that he's back, and the plan is to have Zach Wilson inactive this weekend. Not even suit him up. So he has 2 years remaining. He'll get his cap hit is $9 million next year and $11 million in 2024. If they cut him, if his dead cap hit will be $20 million next year.
And they're willing to just say, screw it.
That's exactly what they're willing to say. They're willing to just say, I don't blame him, man. He might rival Jamarcus Russell as one of the worst drafted quarterbacks of all time.
Man, you think so?
Did I not send you the I sent it to a group chat. I'm not sure which one I sent. Let me see if I can pull it up. But I sent the comparison through 2 years for Zach Wilson and Jamarcus Russell. And I'm pretty sure I know which chat I sent it to. Let me check. Surprise! All right, so Zach Wilson has 4,022 yards passing. Right? This is first 22 starts for both players, right? He has 4,022 passing yards. Jamarcus Russell has 3,477. Zach Wilson has 15 passing touchdowns. Jamarcus Russell has 16.
Okay.
Zach Wilson has 18 interceptions. Jamarcus Russell has 15.
Damn, Jamarcus Russell was positive?
Completion percentage, 55.2 for Zach Wilson, 52.7 for Jamarcus Russell. And the passer ratings, 70.9 for Zach Wilson and 70.8 for Jamarcus Russell.
Jeez. Jamarcus Russell, by the way, in his career, only 3-year career, went 7-18 exclusively with the Oakland Raiders. Zach Wilson. Here we go.
Does Zach Wilson get another shot?
Zach Wilson right now 8-13. 5-3 this year as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, but that's because his defense is outstanding.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But he's not blaming the offense though.
But that's why he's getting cut. That's why they're willing to take the $20 million cap hit.
So how much of this do you think is the Jets being just basically seeing the writing on the wall, or how much is this Jets management reacting to the locker room?
I think it's more the writing on the wall, man. Like,
but that locker room hates Zach Wilson. Not to the point of like, hey, we don't like you, but we'll still tolerate you. To the point where I think Mike White played one game and they had Mike White shirts on. Like, they are desperate to get rid of him.
Yes, the locker room hates him. Now let's have a fun little debate. Let's just go. We'll skip a few games and we'll go into the Denver game. So Denver took on the Rams. Right? Denver lost 51-14. My father is chuckling in the background because that was not a competitive ball game. Let's see. First quarter, 17 points for the Rams, 3 for the Broncos. 14 for the Rams. In the second quarter, 3 for the Broncos.
It's 31-6 at halftime.
31-6 at halftime. Third quarter happens. Neither team scores much. Rams get 3 points. And then in the fourth quarter, it's 17-8 in favor of the Rams. I mean, 51 points to Baker Mayfield and the Rams is outrageous. So
not a game where if you would have scored over 18 points, you would have won.
Yeah, does it fall into that category? Now, let me ask you this. Which quarterback is hated more right now? Zach Wilson or Russell Wilson?
The battle of the Wilsons.
Both of them on my dynasty team, by the way.
It has to be Zach. It has to be Zach.
It has to be Zach.
The Broncos are firing Hackett like with 2 games left.
We still have hope for Russell. You know what I mean?
Right. Wait. Let's play a quick numbers game. Which of these numbers is greater, 253 million or 20 million?
253 is greater. That's
like
sure.
I mean the Broncos kind of are stuck in a lose-lose situation now.
Yeah. And the worst part is their first round pick this year is going to Seattle.
Right.
So Seattle has to be thrilled. Seattle is fighting for a playoff spot right now, and it's still going to pick in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even if you know your consolation prize for not making the playoffs would be a top 5 pick. Top 10,
exactly.
Top 5 pick.
So, and then on top, the Eagles are in the same boat. The Eagles are looking to get the number 1 overall seed in the NFC, as well as the overall number 1 record. And they will also be picking in the top 10 because of the New Orleans Saints. So, very next game, we had the Bills take on the Bears. It went chalk, 35-13. Nobody expected any difference. Chicago maintains its stranglehold on the 2nd overall pick in the draft. And actually, the Houston Texans, which we'll jump ahead a little bit again, actually beat the Tennessee Titans, as we alluded to in the head-to-head, which now only puts 1 game difference between Chicago and the Texans.
You said Houston was going to blow it.
I said Houston would put their chances in jeopardy. I don't know.
Houston's going on a run. Houston's going on a run to end the year.
They're playing some good football right now, and they're in every game, and it's spooky. And I don't know what I know Lovie Smith is a competitor who doesn't want to lose, but if you keep winning, you're going to lose again in the future. Right. Knock it off, Lovie.
Right. I don't Lovie that approach.
So Tennessee Titans, they're not winning this division, right?
Who else though?
Jacksonville. Jacksonville is actually the division leader right now.
I just don't think. Yeah, probably Jacksonville. Yeah, I think whoever wins this division is going to get trounced first round.
Do you want to put that in your locks?
Whoever wins gets trounced.
Yeah,
100%. I'll put it in my locks. I'll lock that shit in right now. AFC South winner trounced.
All right, let me put it in real quick. 2022 AFC South winner trounced in the postseason. Why am I writing in all caps?
You're screaming.
In the postseason. All right, there you go. You got the lock there. It's not really a bold lock. It's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. The very next game, the New Orleans Saints went into Cleveland and decimated Deshaun Watson again. Still has yet to play a good game this season. Deshaun Watson will be fine next year. Yes or no?
Fine next year? Yes, 100%.
Okay.
You can't listen. We take these college guys who wait 6 months between playing in college and the NFL. And we like to say, oh, the speed of the game. But then we like to take pro athletes who are kind of older and slower. And we like to not make that same excuse for them. Deshaun Watson hasn't played football in almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's 700 and something days, yeah.
Yeah, so he can throw a ball around, I'm sure, so can I. It doesn't mean I'm ready to diagnose blitzes and be ready for them.
I can complete more passes than Deshaun Watson. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't even know how many completed in this game. Big Ben, though, with that 5 in that one game, I can do that, bro.
Right.
Deshaun Watson's only 27.
Right.
He'll be fine, I think.
I mean, I think there's nothing to say he won't be fine, right? Get him around a team, get him in an organization for an off season, for OTAs, for training camps. He's going to be fine. He's going to be the same Deshaun Watson. He's going to be just Deshaun Watson again.
And Browns will upgrade their receiver room. Let's not act like they have world-class wide receivers. They'll do something. Browns signing OBJ would be that'd be hysterical. So Kansas City Chiefs maintained pace with the Buffalo Bills, making the next 2 weeks uber important for the 1 seed in the AFC. They're now 12-3, just like Buffalo. They beat Seattle 24-10. The one question I have out of this game is Seattle's storybook run after trading Russell Wilson's done. They're not making the playoffs, right?
It went on way longer than it should have.
The fact that they're 7-8 speaks volumes to the quality of coaching that Pete Carroll does.
The Seahawks are who we thought they were.
Yeah, it's not shocking. Very next game, Vikings skirted past the New York Giants 27-24, and all the Giants had to do was win one more game, and I think they would lock up their playoff spot. But they're now in jeopardy, sitting there at 8-6-1. Luckily for them, the Washington Commanders stunk up the joint yet again. They lost to the 49ers 37-30. Now, of the two teams, Washington and New York, who do you think makes the playoffs?
New York. I think Washington loses this week.
And
I think the Giants win this week. So there you go.
There you go. So then that answers the question. Minnesota, good or bad?
Bad.
Bad.
Bad. They have a +5 point differential.
That's hard earned.
And I know people say, oh, point differential. That doesn't matter. Let me list the 1, 3, and 4 seed teams in the NFC right now and their point differentials. You ready?
Yeah, one of them doesn't have a winning record.
Sorry. I'm going to list by wins. Sorry.
Okay.
By teams.
Gotcha. Dallas Cowboys.
Right. Teams above double-digit wins, right?
Yes. Gotcha.
Philadelphia Eagles +137. San Francisco 49ers +145. Dallas Cowboys +131. Minnesota Vikings +5. I get that people are like, point differential doesn't mean a lot, and I agree, because you can win a lot of close games, and you can get blown out in one, and it completely throws off your point differential.
But Minnesota's been blown out 3 times.
Minnesota in 1-score games, I believe this year is 8-0.
No. That's incorrect. Minnesota in 1-score games this year is 11-0.
That's just not sustainable.
No, it's not. So Minnesota beat Buffalo though. So are they not a good football team?
I don't think Buffalo's as cracked up. Man, hold on. Before I talk out of my ass, let me look at something. Let me look at something.
Ooh, the hard-hitting questions have been asked.
I was gonna say, okay, I'll just come out and say it. It's going to be a Kansas City. The road runs through Kansas City or Cincinnati to the AFC Championship.
Really, or Cincinnati, huh? Cincinnati still hasn't clinched their division.
That's why Cincinnati is the only team that I could see that can put up a fight against Kansas City. Kansas City looks otherworldly right now.
Healthy Lamar Jackson has no shot against Kansas City?
I don't think so. Who does he have to throw to?
He's never had anyone and still managed to win ball games.
I don't think we've seen that. We're going to see a healthy Lamar Jackson.
Really? You don't think we're going to see a healthy Lamar Jackson?
Not this year, no.
That's interesting. We'll see. I mean, Huntley won this week, right? So we'll get into the Ravens game since we're talking about it. They beat the Falcons 17-9. They beat the Falcons 17-9. Falcons are now eliminated from the playoffs.
This is the way, baby.
Just shocking. They were the division leader, I think 3 weeks ago.
I think 3 weeks ago too, yeah.
And so now the Ravens are in. And that's not a team I want to see, to be honest.
I feel like the Ravens are never a team you want to see in the playoffs.
You know what? That's a fair sentence. Yeah, you're right.
The Ravens could have you at center and me at quarterback, or fuck it, switch it, and they're not a team you want to see in the playoffs.
And then they're currently one game back. They're sitting at 10-5. They're one game back from Nick's aforementioned Bengals. He said the road runs through them. They're currently 11-4 and escaped the New England Patriots due to another late game blunder that is uncharacteristic of his team. Ramondre Stevenson fumbling in the red zone. And I'm telling you right now, I don't trust Cincinnati. Cincinnati was blanked in the second half. They scored 0 points in the second half versus New England.
Okay.
Zach Taylor's ailments continue to be the same. Remember, let's not forget that Zach Taylor was on the hot seat before he made that Super Bowl run, right? And Lyle Collins tore his ACL and MCL, and what was the Bengals' Achilles heel before that was the offensive line. We talked about Joe Burrow getting lit up a billion cajillion times.
Are you saying the Bengals' Achilles heels are their ACLs?
That's exactly what I'm saying. So, look, I'm not saying I don't discredit the Bengals. I'm not saying they don't have a shot. I'm just not as confident in them as you.
I'm not really that confident in them. They're the only other team. I just wanted to make it a competitive AFC.
Yeah, I think Buffalo is good.
I don't think Buffalo's that good.
Buffalo beat Kansas City this year.
Josh Allen needs to pull his head out of his ass. Well, any team
scored. Go.
Any team can have a good game.
That's all you need in the playoffs, then.
A string of good games is what you need in the playoffs.
No, you just need to beat Kansas City once. No one else in the AFC is alarming, right? There's no wild card team that you're scared of.
That's what. No.
No.
Listen here. I'll go down the list right now. Well, here you give me the list of seats.
Okay, so the current standings are. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. It just loaded. So Buffalo has clinched the division. Let's see. Hold on. Playoff. There we go. So currently, Buffalo is 12-3 in the 1 seed. Kansas City is 12-3 in the 2 seed. Bengals are 11-4 in the 3 seed. Jacksonville Jaguars are 7-8 in the 4 seed.
Gonna get mollywopped.
You already made the lock prediction. Baltimore Ravens clinched the playoff spot with a 10-5 record. Are in the 5 seed.
Don't have a healthy Lamar Jackson.
Not yet. TBD. But so that means Baltimore takes on Jacksonville. The Chargers are 8. The Chargers are 8-6.
I don't like that prediction anymore. My two predictions can't negate each other.
Chargers are 8-6. They're in the 6th seed
and could barely beat Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday has a 33-point lead on the Vikings, bro. He's a good first half football coach.
Yeah, right.
And then the Miami Dolphins. God, what a conundrum that team is. Currently,
you mean a concussion?
What a concussion, yeah. To that, as Nick alluded to, Tua is back in the concussion protocol. Self-reported, by the way. He felt symptoms, self-reported. Now is in jeopardy. Now is in jeopardy of missing this Sunday's or Saturday's matchup. Not quite sure which day they play on. We'll answer that a little later in the podcast.
He's gonna be like Muhammad Ali later in life if he keeps this up.
Yeah, dude, it's not good. That's the third one. That's the third one this season, and it's not good.
Isn't it like? I thought the ruling was like as a developing adult, right? We say 27 and under as a developing athlete. I thought you got 4 and then you were done. Like
they would shut you down?
They would shut you down.
No, I don't know if that's a rule, bro. There's no chance. They pay these guys too much money. They're competitors. They have a say as well.
No, here's my. I know they won't, but here's my thing. If in high school they tell you that you have 4 concussions and you can't play football again, like that's what normal doctors are saying, right? Like not doctors that are paid millions of dollars to say that. Oh yeah, his brain looks good.
Wink, wink. Yeah,
it's good.
So that rounds out the top. That rounds out the top 7 in the AFC, and then we have 4 7-8 teams. We have the Patriots, Jets, Titans, and Steelers. Mike Tomlin is ready to strike again.
He's gonna do it.
If he ends up 9-8, I'm gonna echo my current stance that Mike Tomlin is the greatest coach ever. He's never had a losing record, and he's playing with Kenny Pickett right now, bro.
Yeah, he's amazing. What more accolades can you drop on this man?
There's nothing. Mike Tomlin is arguably the greatest coach of all time.
I think Mike Tomlin is playing offensive line for the Steelers this year.
That's a safe assumption. So the Carolina Panthers put a beating on the Detroit Lions just when everyone was back on the Lions train. Stop me if you've heard this before. Carolina had 300 and something yards rushing versus them?
Correct.
Can you give me the number?
I can. They set a franchise record in the first half.
My goodness. So they beat Detroit by 14. And here's the thing. Who did Carolina play the week before the Lions?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I'll pull that up while you're looking up how many rushing yards they had. Carolina played the Steelers.
Right.
And they lost. So the Steelers actually broke the Carolina curse again. They've won this week.
Right. But we have a new curse. We have a new curse that our executive producer let us know about.
It was the 49ers, correct?
The 49ers curse, right.
So teams that face the 49ers the week following are 0-12. Unreal. So that means the Commanders are cooked. Their playoff chances are shot. Carson Wentz actually played in this game. That's never a good sign.
320 rushing yards by the Carolina.
320 total against the Detroit Lions. That is an ass whooping.
That's old school football.
Who does Detroit play this week for Week 17?
Detroit plays Chicago.
Chicago. I knew it was a division matchup. Maybe I'm riding Chicago money line to victory. So that brings us to the very next game. We had the Eagles versus Cowboys in what was an outstanding football game. The Cowboys eked it out 40-34 with three fourth quarter turnovers. But Dallas is running around celebrating this victory as if they did something special. They played the backup quarterback.
Who threw for 355 yards on you guys.
Who had 355 yards on your very good defense. Notice the air quotes. Nobody believes that anymore.
Right.
They had 4 turnovers, backup quarterback, and the favorite for MVP did not play the ball game. It's safe to say that the favorite for MVP is, pretty good at football and probably would have had something to say about that ball game. Dallas celebrated like they did something, and if I'm Dallas, I'm more concerned from that game than anything. They should have got after him. Lane Johnson got hurt. Avonte Maddox got hurt, and somehow they gave up 34 points to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at that game and celebrating it. It really feels like a Minnesota Timberwolves celebration, right? To keep going back to that meme.
That's the gif I responded to in the 303 chat. That's exactly how it feels. It feels like Pat Bev clinching a play-in berth victory and getting, what was it, the 7th or 8th seed, and then getting trounced in the first round.
Right.
Dallas, you have some work to do, to say the least. The very next game was a Sunday night defensive matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Las Vegas Raiders blew another fourth quarter lead. It was 10-3 to start the fourth quarter. They gave up 10 points in fourth quarter and now sit at 6-9. Josh McDaniels is not a good football coach.
No, he's not. Can we stop? Can we stop this Josh McDaniels football experiment?
He is a good offensive coordinator.
He's Matt Patricia part 2. Throw him in an offense and let him go hog wild, but you're the head coach, not him.
Yes. Josh McDaniels should be shot. He went up against Mike Tomlin, who's arguably the best coach in football. And then this brings us to the Sunday night slate. The Green Bay Packers beat the Miami Dolphins. I don't want Aaron Rodgers to make the playoffs, but he's gonna, isn't he?
Dude, with the run they're on right now, they could lose to the Niners in the NFC Championship. Think about that.
Stop me if you've seen that before. I think Green Bay closes out at Minnesota, and or maybe not at Minnesota, but they're playing Minnesota, and then they play Detroit to end the season.
I believe they play Detroit this week. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, they play Minnesota. Home. Minnesota.
So they're home. They're home for both. Oh no, yeah. They're home against Minnesota. They're home against Detroit. You want to hear a crazy stat? The Green Bay Packers are 7-8. Yes, that's not above 500, but they're 3.5-point favorites versus the Minnesota Vikings.
You want to hear an even crazier thing? Wait until the week picks. I might just pick Green Bay.
No, I don't know if it's that crazy. And we already got into the Rams-Broncos games, and then, God, this is the heartbreaker, especially for you. It cost you a lot of money. The Arizona Cardinals, who we both thought could win this game, it was 6-6 for most of the game. They both scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, ended up in overtime. Stop me if you've heard this before. Tom Brady gets them into field goal range. Bing, bang, boom, 19-16. Bob's your uncle, and Buccaneers are now 7-8 and have the ability to finish with a 500 record, the only team in the NFC South, and will clinch the division and a playoff berth.
So what Jermaine is referring to is I for some reason I like betting time slot parlays, right? So I like saying, hey, here's the early games are now too much, but like the late games, I'll bet like the late games. I'll pick one thing on one of those late games and I'll bet it. So this Sunday slate, I picked Packers. I picked who else was playing? I picked Packers. I picked
Arizona, New Orleans, Green Bay.
I picked Packers. I picked Rams, and I picked Cardinals. And I put a sum of money on that would have won me $1,000. And all the Cardinals had to do was just run the goddamn ball and get first downs. Or really, I don't even care how you do it, Cliff Kingsbury. Just get a first down. Cliff Kingsbury's fired, right?
He was fired anyways. You can't fall out with the quarterback that you just handed a gigantic $220+ million contract to. I know Kyler Murray tore his ACL. I know Kyler Murray's insufferable. I know he's a spoiled little shithead who doesn't want to play actual football games. But, the head coach is done. He's done. You can't. They're going to always pick the quarterback over the coach. They think coaches.
The only reason he hasn't been fired yet is because Steve Keim is gone. Steve Keim is out right now with health issues.
Right, exactly.
Their GM.
And so, quick update to the weekly picks. I'm now 55-54-2. You're 59-53-1. Los Angeles Chargers booked the final. It was 20-3. A lot of ugly football, but they got a result.
The Chargers have not clinched a playoff spot, by the way.
And the Chargers are now in the playoffs. Really? At 8-6, they're in the playoffs?
They booked it. Yep. Well, I believe they're 9-6 now, right?
Oh, maybe this isn't updated.
Yeah, they're
so 16.
They're 9-6 now, which means that they can finish no lower than the 7th seed.
Well, there you go. And that brings us to the end of the Week 16 slate. We'll get into the standings for the NFC now. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Chargers did clinch. So interesting. The current standings for the NFC is Philadelphia Eagles in the 1 seed. In the 1 seed at 13-2, Minnesota 12-3. They're battling each other for the 1 seed, despite us believing Minnesota is haphazardly awful.
They're not a good team.
So San Francisco 49ers are sitting there at 11-4. Very dangerous football team. Incredibly dangerous football team. It's not anyone you want to see in the playoffs, that's for sure, even with the last pick in the draft. Tampa Bay, 7 at quarterback. Sorry, let me finish that thought. Tampa Bay is 7-8, has a chance to be 500 and win their division. Cowboys are 11-4, and the final two NFC East teams round out the wild card. The Giants are 8-6, and Commanders are 8-6-1, and then the Commanders are 7-7-1. There are 3 7-8 teams, and that's Seattle, Detroit, and Green Bay. And Green Bay has a very favorable end to the year. Oh, you hate to see it.
Or
you'd love to see it.
Green Bay is going to have a shot. And who do the Commanders play to end the year? Let's see here. Commanders have...
I think the Commanders play the Cowboys, right?
Browns, Cowboys. Yep. Home.
Browns, Cowboys, home. They might be eliminated, but they'll have a shot to prevent the Dallas Cowboys from winning the division if New Orleans can pull the upset of the century next week in Philadelphia by beating the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Now that we've run a little long doing the review, let's go ahead and get into next week's slate. Let me refresh this, see if maybe they have the matchups for the Chargers and the Cardinals. But we'll start with the Thursday night matchup. Dallas travels into Tennessee to take on the, obviously, Titans. Dallas is -10, and over-under is 41.5. Dallas money line -490. Tennessee Titans money line +390.
Well, Knicks Nuggets. We always like to say this: if a spread is greater than equal to 9.5, what do we do, Jermaine?
Bet the dog.
Bet the dog. 11-18 on the year. That's 37%. Or sorry, favorites against the spread are 24-4 straight up. That didn't make sense. Favorites on the year with spreads greater than 9.5 are 24-4 straight up. Against the spread, they are 11-18. That's 37%. I want Tennessee +10. However, if the spread is greater than equal to 9.5, we also take the under. That on the year is 17-11. It's hitting at 60%.
All right, so
that doesn't make a lot of sense. Hold on.
Give me the bets that you want because I'm trying to multitask.
It would be the same number of games.
All right, so you want Tennessee +10, right?
Tennessee +10. Yep. And give me Dallas, Tennessee under
41.5.
41.5. Yep.
At -115, and then take the Dallas money line, correct?
Correct.
All right, so that's for Knicks Nuggets. Are you duplicating that action?
Yes.
All right. Command C, Command B. All right, so that gives you that game. I'm going to stay away from that game. I don't like Ryan Tannehill being out. I don't like this Tennessee team, but 10 points is a lot, so I'm just going to abstain altogether. Very next matchup is the New Orleans Saints traveling into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites. The over-under is 44. Eagles money line is -295, and Saints money line is +245. Keep in mind, myself and executive producer Eric, who is conspicuously absent from this podcast, will be in Philadelphia for this game. Any action? Any Nuggets?
No Nuggets. I hope everybody has fun. I don't think I'm going to take any action in this.
Yeah, me either. I'm staying away. Obviously, Philadelphia. I would take this line if it was 7.5. If it was 8 points, I would bet the Saints to, potentially cover that. But definitely don't want any action. This is a big time. This is a playoff game for the Saints and for the Eagles. The Eagles need it to clinch that 1 seed and their division. Keep in mind, the Eagles still have not wrapped up their division. I would argue the pressure is on the Eagles, and it's looking like Jalen Hurts might not play that game. So nobody's taking any action. Very next game, the Denver Broncos travel into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are -13.5-point favorites, very close to Nevada's favorite line to pick. The over-under is 45. Ooh, that might be interesting for a division game. And then the Chiefs' money line is -850, and the Broncos' money line is +600.
A lot of stuff to talk about in this game, right? So we're first, Jermaine mentioned the spread there. So I'm going to take Knicks Nuggets is to take Denver +13.5. Then the under, you said it was 45, I believe, right?
Yes.
And the Kansas City money line. This is a divisional game. Denver has not won in the last 7 years in Kansas City.
Patrick Mahomes has also never lost to the Denver Broncos.
Correct. Thank you, Jermaine. And then since the Broncos played on Sunday Night Football and the Kansas City Chiefs played on Saturday, it is technically a rest disadvantage for the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos playing with a rest disadvantage. 3-7 straight up, 4-6 against the spread. Kansas City playing with a rest advantage, 13-4 straight up, 8-9 against the spread. So I will take Denver plus 13.5 and the under as well.
No Kansas City money line?
I'm not going to take it. I'll take Kansas City money line, sure.
Okay. I'm riding the same 3 bets. I was strongly considering a Denver Broncos money line, right?
Oh.
Despite everything we just said.
Playing for a new coach.
You know, there's one thing I love to bet. When a mid-season firing happens for a coach, the team responds. I don't know what it is. There's some new juice to that team, but Russell Wilson's still the quarterback, so I went Kansas City money line. Right. And if Kansas City loses, I would like to revisit your statement about the Super Bowl running through Kansas City.
Okay.
Second of all, I would be very upset since Kansas City money line is minus 850 and the Broncos is plus 600. But that's neither here nor there. It's my fault for not taking the bet. Now, very next matchup, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, aka the AFC South trounced opponents, traveling into Houston to take on the Texans. Jaguars are -4, over under 43.5. Money line for Jacksonville minus 205. Money line for Houston plus 175.
So a divisional game, right? Jacksonville has not won in Houston in the last 4 years. They're 0-4 in the last 4 years.
Oh, no.
Houston did win this game earlier this year in Jacksonville, 13-6.
No.
Also, Jacksonville played on Thursday Night Football, which means they have the rest advantage in this matchup. They are 3-8 straight up, 5-6 against the spread. Houston, with a rest disadvantage, 2-6 straight up and against the spread.
Houston's playing hot right now, but so is Jacksonville. This is actually a pretty fun matchup.
This might be a good game. I want to lean Houston money line.
First, give me the Nuggets. And what are we putting down for the Nuggets? Nothing.
No Nuggets. Yeah,
no Nuggets.
Okay. The Nugget is Houston money line.
Houston money line.
Yeah.
Plus 175.
Man, I'm going to I myself, not Nick's Nuggets, but the man who created the Nuggets. I'm going to abstain from this game. I want to lean Houston money line. I'm just not going to.
I'll take Houston plus 4. Give me the points because Houston's playing hot right now. They're playing with house money. If you've been betting them, I think they're 3-0 against the spread in the last 3 games, including one outright victory against the division-leading Tennessee Titans. And we have seen it in this division last year with Carson Wentz and the Colts getting eliminated in the final game from the playoffs. So AFC South opponents like to play poor sports and spoil. So I'll take Houston plus 4, and we'll keep it pushing. Very next matchup is Knicks, Carolina Panthers, traveling into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are -3, over under 39.5, -155 for the Bucks, and plus 135 for Carolina. Carolina won this matchup early this year.
They did, 21-3. Carolina traveling into Tampa Bay is 2-3 in the last 3 years. They have lost the last 2 straight games. Because Tampa Bay played on Sunday and Carolina played on Saturday, this is a rest advantage game for Carolina. Carolina playing with the rest advantage, 4-9 straight up, 5-8 against the spread. When Tampa Bay plays with the rest disadvantage, they are 8-3 straight up, 7-4 against the spread.
8-3 straight up, 7-4 against the spread. Okay, that's pretty good.
I will take. For the Nuggets, put Tampa Bay money line, Tampa Bay -3. I will also take the same thing. Tampa Bay -3, Tampa Bay money line. And Tampa Bay to clinch the division.
I'll have to look up the odds for that later.
No. I don't know. I'm saying if they win, they clinch the division.
Okay. So you're taking this bet as well. Tampa Bay money line, Tampa Bay -3. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just lost another offensive lineman in what is becoming staggering to that front, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. Here's what we're looking at, right? Tom Brady's legacy, right, is on the line. He's not looking very good. And then we have the Carolina Panthers, Steve Keim. Essentially, if he wins this division, he gets the job.
Steve Wilkes.
So
if you listen to the rumors coming out of Carolina, he's already got the job.
Wow. I want nothing to do with this matchup, but I'm hoping Carolina wins. So that way you guys hire him, and then I don't have to worry about you guys.
I'm going to make a confession, right? I have watched probably a football game worth of Carolina Panthers football this year.
Really?
And I honestly don't care if they make the playoffs or not. I will start caring about the Carolina Panthers if they make the Super Bowl. If they make the Super Bowl, I will go back and rewatch every single one of the Carolina Panthers games this year. Until then, this team should not even be in the conversation for making the playoffs. No, this is how Robbie Anderson gone, CMC gone, Baker Mayfield gone. Sam Darnold gets. You know what? Sam Darnold probably will beat the Bucs. You know why Sam Darnold will probably beat the Bucs? Because whenever Sam Darnold starts, he has 3 games where people go, oh, maybe Sam Darnold. Maybe this is the Sam Darnold we always thought we'd see. And then the 4th game, he shits the bed. So yeah, you know what? Give me, Jermaine, scrap my bets. Right? The Knicks, keep the Knicks Nuggets. Scrap my bets. Give me Carolina money line.
Carolina money line plus 135.
Because Sam Darnold is going to pull some bullshit. And he's going to get me all excited. A win and you're in type scenario in which we only have to beat, who's that we play week 18? Oh, yeah. The fucking party records. The bag of flaming shit on the Carolina Panthers door every single year, the New Orleans Saints.
Yep. You guys can't beat us, bro. It's awesome.
Cannot beat the Saints. And
although you won this year against us.
Yeah, but I don't know how. I don't even know how this. I don't know what's going on with this team.
I hope Steve Wilkes gets the job. I think it'll be amazing that you guys just retread this coach and you'll be looking for a new coach in 3 years. So I'm hoping Carolina wins this, and I will join you in Carolina money line just because I'm spiteful. So plus 135, that'll be my 5th bet for today. We'll keep pushing into the next game. Miami Dolphins take on the New England Patriots. Patriots are the favorite at home, -2.5, over under 42.5. Money line for the Patriots is -145, and the money line for the Dolphins is plus 125.
Oh, all right.
This is make or break for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and Tua's out probably.
He's looking like he's out, yes.
So divisional game, Miami playing New England. Miami won with Tua earlier in the year, 20-7. Miami traveling into New England is 2-3 over the last 5 years. It's gone, obviously going back in time, it's gone win-loss, win-loss-loss. Miami playing on Sunday puts them at a rest disadvantage to New England, who played on Saturday. Miami 6-6 straight up, 7-4-1 against the spread. New England 4-4 straight up, 3-5 against the spread.
Any Knicks Nuggets? No, right?
The Knicks Nuggets would be take the Miami spread.
Miami plus 2.5 at minus 110. I hate that line because that's a field goal, so I will not be taking. I actually think New England wins this game if Tua doesn't play. So, also coming off two really, really heartbreaking losses and trying to get into the playoffs, I think New England will be ready for this. It's at home. It'll probably be frigid.
Right.
Man, who's the backup quarterback in Miami? Is it still Teddy Bridgewater?
Oh, that's a great question.
I think it is Teddy Bridgewater, and he's a pretty good football. I think my dad said he thinks so as well. So
it is Teddy Bridgewater.
It is Teddy Bridgewater. Are you taking any action in this one?
Yeah, I might take Miami. Might take Miami money line.
You're taking Miami money line plus 125. I'm actually going to take the under in this matchup. I wish I knew if Tua was playing. If Tua was playing, would they be the favorites? Probably.
I would think so, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to take the under 42.5 at minus 110. Wish it was a little higher, but that's what I'm going to ride in this game. I'll abstain from picking a winner. If Tua doesn't play, New England. The worst part is these two teams are playing for a playoff spot. So you have the 7-8 Patriots, you have the 8-7 Miami Dolphins, and this would essentially flip the two of them.
Right.
So this is a big-time matchup for new head coach Mike McDaniel. The pressure is on. You have been a good football team all year. Now you need to actually win one game. Win a game. Right. I think if the Dolphins win, they should be in. They should clinch. Winning, they're in. I think they clinch their spot because that would put them at 9-7, and all the other teams below them are 7-8 currently. So
yeah, that would make sense then. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Teddy Bridgewater, you wanted this. Winning, you're in.
Hey, Teddy Bridgewater, winning, you're in.
Oh man, that's scary to say to Dolphins fans, huh?
Yeah, I don't think any Dolphin fan is excited to hear that sentence. But we have Chicago traveling into Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions are minus 5.5 point favorites. Over under is setting at a whopping 51.5. Lions money line minus 230. Bears money line plus 195. Keep in mind the Detroit Lions played the Carolina Panthers last week.
Right. So Jermaine alluded to it right now. Divisional matchup. Chicago traveling into Detroit has not lost in the last 4 years. Chicago also won the previous matchup 31-30. Also,
Chicago hasn't lost traveling into Detroit in the last 5 years.
Chicago has won the last 4 games in Detroit.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead. All right, keep going.
Then, like Jermaine said, the Detroit Lions did play the Carolina Panthers last week. Opponents are 2-10 straight up when playing the Carolina Panthers.
So the choice here is Chicago plus 5.5 for the Nuggets, correct?
Correct. No, Chicago the choice here is Chicago money line.
Well, okay, I'll put both then. If you're going to take
and the Nuggets,
I'm riding that as well. Detroit, they showed me who they are, and I'm fading now. And I'm still on the hype train for Dan Campbell for Coach of the Year, though. That has not changed.
Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year, but he's going to lose to the Bears. When he needs to win, he's going to lose to the Bears.
Yeah, exactly. So that takes us into the Cleveland Browns, who were eliminated last week after the loss to the Saints, traveling into Washington to take on the Commanders. Commanders are minus 2.5 point favorites. Over-under set for 40.5. Commanders money line is minus 140, and Browns money line is plus 120.
So,
obviously, Nevada's nugget is teams coming off a game versus San Francisco.
Correct.
Are 0-12. So that means Cleveland money line.
I will also give you a reason to take Cleveland spread here. Team scoring less than 10 points the previous week and then listed as dogs less than 10 are 15-6 on the year. That's 71%. Right. Cleveland fits this category, scoring less than 10 points in week 17.
All right, so here's what we have. We have Cleveland money line, Cleveland spread, and then I'm assuming that Cleveland Washington under also falls into that.
It does not. No, remember, this is team scoring less than 10 points the previous week, not if the spread is greater than or equal to 9.5.
Okay. All right. So
I know there's so many nuggets out there now. This went from four nugget snack pack to a 20 McNugget meal.
So you're riding both those bets, correct?
I'm riding both those bets. Knicks Nuggets, and I'm riding both those bets. Because I'm going to incorporate Nevada's Nuggets into Knicks Nuggets now. Because I'm going to steal it.
Sure. That's perfectly fine. Very next matchup, Arizona Cardinals travel into the Atlanta Falcons. Both teams been eliminated. Both teams playing for draft position. The Falcons are -3.5. The over-under is set for 41. -190 for Atlanta Falcons money line and +160 for the Arizona money line. And this is just an awful game.
I don't think
no nuggets.
I have not hammered a bet like this all year. I have not hammered a bet like this all year.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guess what side I hammered on after I tell you the Knicks Nuggets. First
you
of all,
have nuggets for the. Please speed it up. I don't want to talk about this game too long.
First of all, my favorite nugget. What do we do, Jermaine? We fade West Coast teams traveling east early, right?
Always.
2-2 straight up on the year, but plus 2.5 units. 4-0 against the spread. The Atlanta Falcons scored less than 10 points last week. They are a favorite of -3.5. Favorites on the year when scoring less than 10 points the previous weeks are 13-9-1. Also, since the Cardinals played on Sunday, they are at a rest disadvantage. The Arizona Cardinals with a rest disadvantage, 3-7 straight up, 4-5-1 against the spread. The Falcons with a rest advantage, 5-3 straight up, 6-2 against the spread.
Okay, let's hear it. What are you taking?
I am hammering. 3 hammer emojis. Falcons -3.5.
-3.5. Nothing with the over/under,
nothing with the over/under.
You don't want the money line. I'm taking Atlanta -3.5 purely because the Cardinals effed this division up by not beating the Buccaneers. So now I'm just being spiteful. Yeah. So are you taking Atlanta spread as well?
I'm taking Atlanta. I'm hammering Atlanta spread, not just taking, hammering.
Okay, so
I won't be able to live in my apartment next week if this fails.
All right, so the San Francisco 49ers are traveling into Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. The spread is 49ers -5, over under 45.5. 49ers money line -240, Raiders money line +200.
Raiders scored less than 10 points last week. Jermaine told you they blew that fourth quarter lead. They are also a dog here, 5.5. Give me Knicks Nuggets, Raiders +5.5. You know,
it's +5. It's +5.
I will also take Raiders +5.
And so you're also taking Raiders +5.
Yeah. I live and die with the Nuggets, so that's why they look so similar.
I'm going to abstain from this matchup. Josh McDaniels is terrible. He needs to follow Nathaniel Hackett out the door. Shout out Broncos fans for getting rid of one of the worst head coaches I've ever seen in a 15-game span.
No, Jermaine, he wasn't ready to be a head coach. It's not his fault.
So stupid.
This was something that a man who gets paid to analyze football said on a television broadcast I was listening to this weekend, that it's not Nathaniel Hackett's fault. He just wasn't ready to be a head coach. Nathaniel, you ever played a game of Madden before? It's not really that hard if you got a play sheet in front of you.
Oh, man, that's dumb. That's a really dumb sentence to say out loud. New York Jets are traveling into Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Jets are minus 2.5-point favorites. Keep in mind, Mike White is back and will be playing over-unders at 42. Money line for the Jets is minus 135, and money line for the Seahawks is plus 115. Both of these teams are 7-8 and fighting for one of the wild card playoff spots, so this is a big-time playoff implication matchup. This is an East Coast team traveling West Coast, but this is a 2:05 p.m. game.
Right.
Or, 4:05.
Right. So this is the first time in Room 303 podcast history that I can remember that we have two teams both scoring less than 10 points the previous week playing each other. So,
what do we do?
Because the Jets played, so I'll let you make the decision here, Jermaine.
Okay.
Because the Jets played on Thursday Night Football, they have a rest advantage over the Seattle Seahawks. With this advantage, the Jets are 3-9 straight up and 5-7 against the spread. Seattle with a rest disadvantage is 6-9 both straight up and against the spread.
I am all over the Jets at this one. Jets minus 2.5 is the bet to take. I am a firm believer that Mike White makes this team competent, and competent is all you need with the quality of defense that they have on the New York side of the football. I'm losing confidence in the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith is revealing that he's still Geno Smith, despite that we counted him half. What did he say? But he never picked up whatever his catch line was. I was pulling for Geno, but it didn't work out. I'm going Jets. I think Jets is the play here. What do you think?
I'm going to oppose you. I'm going to go with the original Mike White, and that's Geno Smith. I want Seahawks plus 2.5.
Geno Smith was not the original Mike White. So you're taking no Nuggets, but
I'm saying this year. Well, I mean, there's two Nuggets, but we can't take both of them.
Yeah, so they cancel each other out, so there's no Nuggets. You can have Seattle plus 2.5. I'll take New York Jets minus 2.5. I have no confidence in Seattle.
Okay.
Minnesota. Seattle? When was the last time Seattle won a ball game?
4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago. When was the last time the Jets won a ball game?
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Did they win it last week? I don't think they won last week.
No, I don't think they won last week. Anyways, Minnesota traveling into Green Bay. Green Bay Packers are minus 3, over under 47, plus 150 money line for Minnesota, minus 175 for Green Bay. Let's speed this up. My computer's dying.
Divisional games. Minnesota traveling into Green Bay. The last 5 years, 2-2-1. This is how it's gone. Loss, win, loss, draw, win. Minnesota did win the game earlier this year, 23-7. Green Bay played on Sunday, which means they have a rest disadvantage. With that, since 2019, the Packers are 12-5 straight up and 11-3 against the spread. The Vikings with an advantage, 8-4 straight up, but only 6-6 against the spread. I want all of it. Well, I want Green Bay minus 3.5.
It's minus 3 here.
Oh, I want Green Bay minus 3.
Is that for you, or is that a nugget as well?
Give the that's a nugget.
Okay. Look, I'm taking Green Bay minus 3 just for the chaos. Just keep it on brand for me. Minnesota, we've been saying they're not good. Green Bay is the favorite despite having a losing record. Let's see if Vegas is right. Give me the minus 3 and Minnesota. Prove me wrong.
Right.
I doubt it. Very next game, we have Pittsburgh traveling in to Baltimore in what is always an outstanding football game. These teams hate each other. The Ravens are minus 3, over-under set for 36, which is hysterical. Ravens money line minus 170. Steelers money line plus 145.
Hey, divisional game, Pittsburgh traveling into Baltimore. The last 5 years, Pittsburgh traveling into Baltimore is 4-1.
Ooh.
4-1. They've won the last 2 games. Baltimore did win the game earlier this year, 16-14. It's hard to beat a team twice. No Nuggets, but I think I want Pittsburgh money line in this.
Pittsburgh money line. You said it's hard to beat a team twice. Wait, so Baltimore won this year? Or?
Baltimore won already this year, 16-14, correct.
Oh, so I'll put that under mine. Hold on. Whatever. I'll put it there. I'll keep it. All right. Pitt money line plus 145. No nugget on that one. The very next game, I'll have to refresh and see if the Chargers pops up. The Buffalo Bills travel into Cincinnati because apparently the road goes through Cincinnati. The spread is Buffalo minus 1.5, over under 49.5. Money line for the Bills minus 125. Money line for the Bengals plus 105. What do we got here, Nick?
My computer's dying also. That's fun. There's no nuggets to this game, actually.
Ooh, okay. So what? Any action for you?
Give me the line again.
Minus 1.5.
Man, that's a stupid line. I want this line to move. I mean, right now I'll take Buffalo minus 1.5, I guess.
Buffalo minus 1.5. That's minus 110. I'm actually going to take the upset here. Cincinnati money line plus 105. When it's this close on the board, I lean dog because they have an outstanding chance in this ball game. Now, keep in mind, it's still the underdog. So Buffalo wins. So Jermaine's an idiot for taking Cincinnati. Well, yeah, that's why they weren't favorited. Favorited.
I love when teams are favorited.
The Chargers game is not posted to. Who do the Chargers play this week?
The Rams. The Battle of the LA.
Oh, that's
the Battle
right.
of LA. This game opened Chargers minus 6.5 point favorites. With an over under 40. 40 and a half.
Ooh. I'll take that. I'll take that over.
The over 40 and a half?
Yeah.
Now again, we'll check once the actual line gets posted, but
over 40 and a half. I'll put minus 110 for now and put it in parentheses or bracket. Look up. Do you want any action on that?
No action.
No action. So that brings us to the end of our betting slate. Let's go ahead and get into head-to-head. As I had mentioned, I am 6-9. Boy, I'm just not good at this.
Eventually you'll pick a winner.
Hey, I picked a winner last week, hater. Let's see. I'll take. Ooh, okay. I'm taking Chicago money line plus 195.
I like that. That was my second best bet of the week. I talked it up so much. It's the Falcons minus 3.5. It's got to be. It always was.
That's almost what I took.
I would have been kind of mad if you took it.
Chicago money line plus 195. What swayed me is that it was a 195. So I was like, Look, I'm out. I'm gonna fucking
might as well rack up the coin.
Yeah, let's go with the odds. You're taking Atlanta. What was it? Plus 3.5.
Minus 3.5.
Minus 3.5. I don't have the windows open. What are the odds on this? Atlanta was minus 110. Oh yeah, standard. Minus 110. All right, so we're in a pickle. We have to pick a choice for Eric. Are we going to give him Cincinnati money line?
Ooh, a pickle for Eric. Cincinnati money line. Who do the Eagles play?
The Eagles play the Saints.
Saints money line?
Yeah, let's do it. New Orleans money line plus what is that? Let me pull that up.
Wait, hold on. What's the spread? What's the spread?
It's plus 6.5.
Okay, give him Saints. Give him Saints plus 6.5.
No, I like money. I like
money
line.
Okay, we're going money line then. It's gonna hit. You know it's gonna hit.
Let's go. I hope it hits. I want to watch the last week of the Saints season. Like, I'm not like you. I'm not out on my team like some fucking bozo. I hope we win the division. I hope we make the playoffs. Do I think we're going to do anything in the playoffs? Absolutely not. But I want to watch the Saints in the playoffs. I don't understand how you could ever say you don't want to watch the Panthers in the playoffs. Doesn't make sense to me. But then again, you don't make sense. So
don't want to watch them in the playoffs. Don't want to get my hopes up to watch them in the playoffs just to see them get fucking stomped.
I'm good. At least we made the playoffs. And that means the Saints won another division crown. Fuck Carolina. Fuck Atlanta. Fuck Tampa Bay. Yeah, that's just where I stand.
It's I don't want them to make the playoffs because then they hire Steve Wilkes and they still get trounced. And somehow Sam Darnold is still the quarterback next year.
You already said they're hiring Steve Wilkes.
There's rumors around. I don't want to believe them.
You already said it, though.
I'll take Urban Meyer at this point. I said it.
No, you would
I said
not.
it. I said
no.
it.
No, you would not.
You know what I'm saying? What's Jim Tressel doing these days?
Jim Tressel might actually be a good ball coach, so, like, who knows? But, no, dude, you don't want Urban Meyer. You've seen that experiment.
I'll take Jim Caldwell at this point.
I would take Jim Caldwell. Like, what? No, dude, if you guys hire Brian Flores, I'm going to be so salty. The Saints passed on him.
So I saw this. I saw this news alert, and some of you may have also seen it as well. Sean Payton apparently is putting together an all-star coaching staff, which includes.
And then the name they said was Vic Fangio.
They go. Sean Payton's putting together an all-star with his headliner being Vic Fangio, the guy who couldn't make it in Denver with the best defense.
Bro, there's no chance. He's a good defensive coordinator, but that's not an all-star cast to me.
Right.
Like, how can you name one person and say it's an all-star cast? It just makes no sense. There's no logic in that sentence. But the two teams that Sean Payton has said that he wanted, sorry, I'll let you talk right now, was the Chargers and the Cardinals. One of those two jobs is going to be open. But does he want the Cardinals without Kyler Murray?
I think so, yeah.
Kyler Murray tore his ACL. He's not playing next year.
So, draft somebody else. Gives him time to catch him on his Call of Duty.
Dude, Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray, and then they draft another first-round quarterback. God, Arizona, it's so bad down there. Look, I wish the best to Sean Payton. I hope the teams that are wanting to sign Sean Payton are ready to pay the price. He is still currently under contract with New Orleans, so you're going to have to send us something. So your boy, I ain't mad. If you want out that bad, fine. Good riddance. Be gone. Go coach another team. I'm going to root for you because you're my boy. I wish nothing but the best for you. But let's get some picks, baby. Let's get some picks. That's all I have to say about that. You got anything else for the listeners, Nick?
No, I'm good. I'll see you guys next year.
Oh, he's so clever. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Podcast Room303. I've been your host, Jermaine Mendez. This has been my co-host, Nicholas Moran. And as always, we have with us. We'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.